Hey everybody, it's Russell. I just want to make another video touching on Disney buying AMC, but this one is more on maybe Paramount buying AMC and what that would do to Disney. And I have a theory that, this move by Paramount could be similar to what, Netflix did to Blockbuster, back in the day. And I'll get into that in a minute. But first, I want you to go to Twitter. I want you to subscribe to this guy's Twitter feed, Dade Murphy at Naked Jockman. He's posted a lot of great tweets and DD connecting dots about a potential Paramount AMC merger. So check out his site. Like here's a big one that he did, about please read the entire thread. And he just goes through and he connects dots and he talks about board members and this and that. And I think, you'll get a lot out of it. One of the other tweets he had recently was Nicole Kidman. She joined a Paramount Plus series, after she's famously been in the AMC commercials. And, the funny thing, you'd say, well, this is nothing. She's an actress. She got cast. But listen, they had to negotiate. AMC had to negotiate her deal, with agents and lawyers to do their deal, and they get to know each other, business relationship, and who knows if, someone, maybe if Paramount was talking to AMC and maybe they talked about working with Nicole Kidman or, doing something. You never know, but this is the kind of thing that could come out. Allies are allies, and, maybe they help each other out, but it's just something curious about that. And also, when you talk about tweets, remember when Bob Iger came back to Disney, and it's back in November, late November. Adam Aaron tweeted out, in welcoming Bob Iger back. And in his tweet, he said, "Let me shout this from the mountaintop," which is kind of odd because you think from Disney he'd be, maybe have a Disney reference, but the mountaintop being Paramount. And that quote, "Let me shout this from the mountaintop." And in case you think, we just have tinfoil hats on, that doesn't mean anything. When the entertainment press picked up this story, they certainly thought that quote meant something. It's part of the headline. "Let me shout this from the mountaintop." So who knows? Maybe Adam Aaron, was in some kind of, merger discussions with Paramount, and he was kind of sending a signal to Bob Iger, like, "Hey, you might have a chance to get on this, but I'm shouting from the mountaintop that, this could happen, and Disney better, step up if they want to take advantage of that." And if it does happen, if Paramount does acquire AMC, I personally don't think it would have quite the punch that Disney would have. But here's what it would do. It is an opportunity lost for Disney. And this is where the Netflix comparison comes in. That you probably know this story, that Netflix and Blockbuster were competitors. And at one point in time, Netflix basically went to Blockbuster and said, "Look, you've got all the stores. We've got the online, the mail business. Why don't we combine?" And they basically told Blockbuster, "You can buy us for $50 million and we'll join forces." And Blockbuster didn't go for it. Some people say they laughed him out of the room, but Blockbuster just didn't take the deal. And we all know what happened. Blockbuster, basically went, bankrupt. There's one store in Bend. I could drive out, about 3 hours. I could be at that Blockbuster, and it's the last one left. And I think they keep it alive just to keep the brand alive. It's more of a novelty, and I don't know. There's value in that brand, and they're keeping it alive for some reason. But that was, imagine in that meeting, and Netflix is on their way out, and then the Blockbuster people say, "You know what, wait a minute, come back and sit down and talk to us. Explain this to me, as if I was 3. Why do we need to do this deal?" Or if Blockbuster said, "Look, this is our competitor, and we can take them out for $50 million, and they're no longer a threat, and we can thrive and go on and continue to do our business." But Netflix became a disruptor, and it ended up putting Blockbuster basically out of business. And so for Paramount to get, AMC and not Disney, and remember, my case is this: Disneyland and Disney World are the two main places where families can go and spend massive amounts of money and giving it to Disney. But it's really just two places, those two locations that they have to go. And a lot of people that would love to give their children a Disney experience can't afford to fly to Anaheim, can't afford to fly to Florida or drive and stay there a week. And if they do, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, or maybe once a year if you're lucky. Instead of that, bang, buy AMC and make Disney centers all across the nation where kids can have a Disney experience, where they can meet the characters and do all that. Watch my other videos. I go through all of that. But you go from, having everybody in the nation having a Disney experience to just going right back down to that. You could double Disney. That was my argument. Double the size. Be audacious. And take this company to the next level. And if you think that's stupid, if you think that doesn't work, it won't happen, right? I want you, then you make the case for McDonald's, right? McDonald's has, thousands of these restaurants nationwide, right? Nationwide, there's all these small McDonald's restaurants that you can go and spend your money at McDonald's. I want you to make the case for me now that they should close all these restaurants nationwide, all these places where you can spend your money giving it to McDonald's. Close all of those, and then I want them to open up McDonald's Land in Anaheim and McDonald's World in Florida. But listen, there's going to be rides. It's going to be, an amazing experience. But those are the only two places now where you can spend your money at a McDonald's. McDonald's Land in California, McDonald's World in Florida, right? Does that make any kind of sense to anybody? Would anybody ever do that? No, of course not. So why is it so insane to go the other way? That if you had these two amazing places that people love going, why not create these other McDonald's places where you can go and maybe you don't get to ride on a roller coaster, but you get to enjoy the food, you get to have a McDonald's experience. And that was my argument. And if Paramount buys AMC, then that opportunity is lost for Disney. And, Paramount kneecaps their competitor. And now Disney's not going to have the power that it could have. And they can compete with them as a movie studio and an entertainment venue that, before they would have lost that advantage. Now, look, I just think Disney makes so much more sense for buying AMC. But when I think about it, Paramount, they have the Nickelodeon brand, they have Dora the Explorer, they have the Transformers, they have Comedy Central. You could, have stand-up comedians come into these, the theaters, or some kind of entertainment. Same thing you would do for Disney, maybe, on a smaller scale for Paramount. But then maybe that's how Paramount grows into a bigger entertainment company, by getting AMC and having this physical place. They can't, it's hard for Paramount to buy all the land in a place where people want to travel to, a tourist destination, to create a Disneyland, a Paramount Land, or a Paramount World. It's very expensive to do all that. Well, if they merged with AMC, now they can do it, on much smaller venues, but on a much broader scope, and they could leverage their brands that they have. So instead of kids going to AMC and meeting Mickey Mouse and Donald and, the Pixar characters, well, now they're going to go there. They can meet Transformers, they can meet Dora the Explorer, and all the other characters on, Nickelodeon and what have you. So anyway, hey, listen, go check. Like I said, go to Dade Murphy at Naked Jockman on Twitter. Subscribe. Check out he has more detailed analysis of this. I'm more of a big picture guy, and after reading Dade's tweets, it made a little more sense to me why Paramount would pull this deal. But if anything, even if it's not necessarily the best idea for Paramount, it takes that option away from Disney. It kneecaps their competitor and it cuts them off. And that's how Paramount could, that potentially pull a Netflix blockbuster, deal on Disney. That they take an opportunity away from Disney, and ultimately it locks Disney into what they are. You want to pay $600 a day to go to Disney World or Disneyland. Congratulations, because that's going to be the future if this holds out. Anyway, Dade, thanks for all the tweets that you do. We'll see what happens. I had my heart set on Disney buying AMC, but we'll see. Could be more than one people interested in it. Well, anyway, good luck to AMC stock this week, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Bye.